I said, well, what Malik do? He said, man, Malik was out there tripping. And I said to Malik, yo, you ain't got to do all this by yourself. And Amari looked at me and what did Malik say to you?
Malik said, bro, I'm just playing in 2K. They just can't guard me.
Right? My man's playing a video game in his head, real life basketball.
What's up, OTE fam? It's your boy Ja, and welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered. On this week's episode, we have the Reapers. We'll talk about last week's games and preview this week's games coming up. All right, I'm here with my guys from the Reapers. We got Amari, big bro over there on the end. KG, first time on the pod, man. Good having you. And of course, the old man next to me. Whatever. Coach Doug is here. Kole, I want to start with you because obviously it's your first time on the pod. And I want to start talking about Doug, actually. I'm imagining you've been playing basketball for a long time, had a lot of different coaches. What's it like to be coached by Doug Martin?
Easy. You still got a couple games left.
Gotta keep my playing time, right? It's different. It's a new thing for me. It's my first time. It's his first year as my coach, and just I don't know, just learning a lot with him learning me tolerating him tolerating me. That's just how it is, and we figured it out. We found success through this year, and we're just going to finish it out.
Tolerate is a good word for it. Mari, would you agree with that on what he's saying in terms of being coached by Doug?
Yeah.
What's
Do they know I'm sitting here?
I think they do. Yeah, I think. What's it like coaching Kole, who a lot of people actually make the comp between these two? Mm-hmm. And we know, obviously, it's great to coach a guy like Amari. So talk to me about coaching Kole.
I've been tolerating him. No, it's actually been fun. Just kind of getting him to understand who he is as a player, me getting to understand who he is as a player, and getting him to truly, like, if all the guys on the team, he's the one that's had to kind of sacrifice the most to fit into the puzzle that we have on the team. And it's very similar to Amari last year when we had mostly seniors and, BT was, ball dominant, kind of having Amari figure out where he fits among those four players. And it's very similar with Kole this year to see where he fits among those guys. And then, so I'm excited next year. I'm excited about this year, but next year I'm actually super excited to see him being one of the mainstays and having people fit around him next year.
Nah, for sure. Kole, staying with you, obviously your first year at OTE, probably different than any other high school league in the country or even out of the country. We know you play all over. Talk to me about what the emotions and everything have been like playing in this league and then obviously making it to the finals and what that experience has been like.
Yeah, the environment is crazy. Every game it's almost packed out, and just it's an environment that you just can't match. So and also playoffs, it just heightens even more. Every game is more at stake, and the crowd's louder, and it's a lot more to focus, and just, yeah.
If you can't tell, Kole's a really chill guy. Yeah. Super laid back, super calm. I mean, it's kind of what he brings to the court as well. Amari,
sometimes.
what was your first impression? Like, let's go back to September. We all just got here, or even August. You guys are doing runs. You're kind of figuring it out. You don't even know this guy's going to be in your team. What were your first impressions of Kole?
I mean, I knew of Kole because he played for the younger version of my AAU team.
Okay.
So I already knew of him. They just was like, they called me, and they was like, make sure you take care of him.
Right.
So now, my little bro.
Okay, so you've known him for a while. Little bro, that's crazy. For you and Amari, how has he grown since September? Obviously, you guys have kind of been not watching, but a part of his journey. How have you guys seen him grow throughout the season?
I think the biggest thing for us is, as you've mentioned before, he's not like a vocal guy. His effort and his impact on the game has done most of the talking for him. People sit back and, we look at the score sheet sometimes, and I think Cole's had a 24-point game. Cole's had a 2-point game. where he still impacted the game at a high level. So just understanding, what he brings to the table for me, what he brings to the table every game, and what his impact. His impact is almost different every game.
Yeah.
He has some great rebounds in traffic. The other day, of course, he made some big threes the last couple of games, and just I think Coach kind of sits back and figure out where's my impact in this game, and then proceeds to do that. That's my opinion of it.
Yeah. Big bro, I won't call him little bro, but big bro, what's your thoughts on Kole?
I mean, Cole, he cool. Nah, for real. But Cole, I mean, yeah, he definitely not like vocal. He not that vocal, but I mean, he play hard every time we step out. So like, no matter if he making shots or not, like Coach Doug said, he gonna get rebounds. He gonna find his way. He gonna guard. But I mean, I rock with him because he ain't nothing free. That's what we say. Ain't nothing free over here. So yeah, I rock with him.
Remind you of yourself a little bit, huh? Last year, your role in the team, similar kind of style of
Nah,
play. No?
not me, but
Cole, what are your thoughts on like your role on this team this season and how you've kind of found your way? Do you agree with what these guys have said?
Yeah, just finding my place, not being a predominant scorer or a high volume shooter, just finding where I fit in and adding value to the team where I can. It's different from where I came from, being the guy, but just is a learning curve and just finding where I fit in and adding my value.
Got you. Switching gears a little bit. Let's give you a hypothetical, Doug, right?
Okay.
You got 2 games left, so this is after this, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have an agent. Let's say Cam Wilder calls your agent, gets in touch with you and says, hey, man, hopefully you're a back-to-back champ. I want you to coach RWE next year.
Right.
What are we saying?
To Cam or to the agent?
I guess both. What is your answer?
Nah, man, I'm a reaper.
Ride or die for the Reapers.
I've been, sometimes, being from Cali, you either born in or jumped in. I was jumped into the Reapers, so I'm gonna remain the Reaper.
Okay, I respect that. Loyalty means something.
Plus, what are you doing with Corey?
Hey, that was just a
Okay,
hypothetical.
okay,
you know what I
my
mean?
bad,
Just a
my bad,
hypothetical.
my bad.
You know what I mean? No
Wasn't me.
disrespect to Corey.
Yeah, it wasn't me,
Great
Corey.
coach.
Wasn't me.
Amari, you've been in the finals before. Just talk to me about the mindset, the preparation that has gone into playing in the finals. I mean, it seems like you've hit a different mode, I won't lie, and I'm around you all day, every day. So talk to me about what your mindset has been just preparing for these finals.
I mean, my mindset is just to win. I mean, we got to win by any means at this point. It ain't no, next week. It ain't no after this, next year, because after this year, my time's over. So, I mean, me being in the finals this year, more of a leader of the team, more like one of the guys on the team, I feel like it's my job to just make sure everybody else is locked in. And as long as they're locked in, I don't got no choice but to match what they do. As long as they play well, I feel like I'll be okay, but they're more important.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. That's fair. And I'm assuming it means so much to you just because it's your senior year, it's your last year doing it, and you're doing it with one of your best friends from back home, right? I know your uncle's been sitting courtside. What does that mean to have him right there?
Oh, he be tripping on the side.
Man, I thought
He be tripping on the sideline.
A tech or ejected. He's working on both of them.
That's funny. Doug, there was a clip posted of you guys' locker room after game 2, I believe. You guys brought the huddle in, and Malik wanted you guys to break the huddle again. He didn't feel like there was enough energy in that.
Yeah.
And you basically said, like, this dude's special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just talk to me about what makes him special.
It's no secret to anybody, but just Malik's mindset. It's everything has to be at 100%. And
Everything. Good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. It has to be at 100%. And just to have that at that age, to have that as your kind of your mantra all day, every day, it takes a special person to carry that all the time. And he lives for that 94x50 court out there. He's added juice to these guys. These guys have added juice to him when he's had moments of struggle. But in his moments of struggle, his struggle has been at 100, as well.
Yep.
I want to say game 2 of Fear of God, he was on the struggle bus, and it put us all on the struggle bus. And then at halftime, he's just like, no, we're gonna be fine. And these guys was like, Malik, just keep doing what you're doing, and we're gonna be okay. And it worked out that way.
Yeah. For you two, I'll start with Kole. Obviously, you've been playing alongside Malik for years, but Kole, like, to have a 5-star guard who can score the ball the way Malik does, it's rare to have that guy usually be like a vocal leader as well, and being a voice in the locker room and stuff like that. What is it like to play alongside a guy like that, and do you take anything from that and try to implement it in your game?
Yeah, I mean, he gets buckets. So it's just like guarding him in practice or just being around and seeing, like, in a way I look up to him because these two, they're going to places I want to be, SEC schools, high major, and they're what I look up to. So it's just being around, watching them. I pay special attention to that.
Coach Doug over here getting choked up, man. He said you look up to his guys. Mari, like I said, you've been playing alongside Malik for years. Has he always been like this? Like the intensity, the passion, the leadership? Like, has he always been that guy?
Yeah, bro. Malik's out of his mind. Malik's out of his mind.
I believe it. I don't even say his name no more. I call him Five.
Yeah, bro. Dude's out of his mind.
And every time I need something from him, what I come to you and say?
Get Five in control.
Any crazy stories? Like, I mean, it would be wild to see an 8-year-old talk the way Malik talks or be the leader he is or have the intensity he has. Is there any crazy stories from you guys this time on, like, the Lightning or anything like that where you're just like, man, this dude's a maniac, like you just said?
I got one.
Go ahead.
So Malik commits to OTE
Oh, yeah, I know exactly
before
what you're talking about.
before the
Yeah.
first session of EYBL. So we want to say late April, early May, something like that. And Amari and I, we text throughout the summer. My grandson was Amari for Halloween this year. So, and we stayed in touch. We FaceTime a couple times throughout the summer. So Amari comes back from session 1. You guys go 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We go 1 and 2, and I was like, his whole thing was like, yo, I'm going to Final Four, Peach Jam. I'm going to Peach Jam, and we're gonna win it. Or we're going to the Final Four at least.
Right.
What's his thing? And so they went 1 and 2 the first weekend, and you struggle once. You only have 4 sessions.
Yeah.
You struggle one session at EYBL. It's you looking up at you got a tall hill to battle. And I said, well, what happened this weekend? And he was like, your boy. And I was like, my boy? What? Who you talking about? He's like, Malik. I said, well, what Malik do? He said, man, Malik was out there tripping. And I said to Malik, yo, you ain't got to do all this by yourself. And Amari looked at me, and what did Malik say to you?
Malik said, bro, I'm just playing in 2K. They just can't guard me. I'm like, bro, Malik, you right, bro. Like, you got it, bro.
But then it's like, so that's what we talk about, the good and the bad. He's doing it at 100%. So you have to respect that as a coach, right?
My man's playing a video game in his head, real life basketball.
But then on the flip side, when he goes out and for the rest of the EYBL sessions does what he does, it's like, well.
Yeah, he was definitely like top 3 in scoring still.
Right.
So, but like, he was like, bro, everything he does is like, he just does it at a high level. So it's just like, bro, I can't be mad at you for missing because half of them misses, you got your own rebound.
Right. He does everything at 100%. Nah, you got to respect that kid. Kole, to switch gears just a little bit, and let's get into game 1, right? First of all, I want to ask you, because I know the playoffs are a step up from the regular season. Regular season is usually cool in here, but when we get to the playoffs, the atmosphere in here is crazy. What was that like for you, your first playoff game at OTE?
It was loud. You can barely hear each other on the court. But it was fun. Most importantly, we won. But yeah, it's new. It's fun.
Right. So then later on in the game, obviously a big moment. You step up, and you've been struggling a little bit, but you hit a huge shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put us up 1. Just talk to me about the emotions. First of all, throughout the entire game, but then also, like, as you hit a shot like that, you're running down the court. There's still more game to play, so you're trying to, like, keep it cool, but you just hit a big shot. Like, what's that like?
Yeah, we talked about this. So I missed I airballed 3 before that in a row. Missed another one. And then, the moment came, and, big time moment, Wait, what is it?
Big time players make big time plays.
Yeah, that
And
one,
big
that one,
time
that one, that one,
moments,
that
yeah.
one.
Okay.
And yeah, I just knocked it down. I did what I do.
I did what I do.
I did what I do, and hit the shot.
But what people fail to realize is Kole had that exact same moment the first game of the year.
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
RWE.
he did.
Yeah, was it the RWE game?
Came
Yeah.
down from 17-0.
Yeah, but Kole had missed, I want to say at the time, he was maybe 0 for 5, 0 for 6 from the 3.
Yes.
And I literally looked at him on the court and said, don't shoot another three.
Yeah.
And he shot a 3 with about 27 seconds on the clock and won the game.
Yeah.
It was the difference in the game. So I don't know if he's hard-headed or he just doesn't, he's not aware of good coaching. I don't know which one it is. But so he's lived that moment. So
Right.
having him step up again for that wasn't much of a surprise.
So let's talk to you about game one. I mean, first of all, because I didn't interview you in that game. Was that the hardest game you've ever had to coach with everything going on, the emotions? I mean, you in the game with no subs.
Actually, it was hard up until that point.
Right.
Because, no Tuck, no Amari, no Malik. These guys just had the freedom of just playing.
Just playing.
Just
Yeah.
playing. And I had to, and I couldn't confuse them anymore by trying to coach,
Yeah.
And I gave him an example of in the Fear of God game. I apologized to him one game, the game 2, and I apologized to him because I said I overcoached him. So that's in the back of my mind of not overcoaching these guys and just kind of letting them play. But once all that happened, and it was 5 minutes to go in the game, and it's just 5 guys out there,
Yeah.
and it's 2 7-footers, Cole, Jay Wilk, and Styles. I just kind of let them play, put them in positions to be semi-successful, and it was tie score up to 5 seconds on the clock.
And I know you mentioned how proud you were of that group specifically. I mean, really all your guys, obviously, because it's a team effort. But that group specifically, you mentioned just how proud. Like, talk about what it meant to see those guys battle the way they did.
Yeah. It's football is the sport, unfortunately, that you can only play 5 guys at a time. Everybody wants to be in the game. Everybody wants to have the ball in their hand at the end of the game. Everybody wants to make big plays, but they can't. But I was super proud of those guys because, most likely Styles, Jay Wilk, moved not finishing games.
Right.
And for all 3 of those guys to make huge plays, in the last 5 minutes of that game was, gave Amari, Malik, Tuck some confidence that, if it gets tough, we can definitely go to these guys and come out with a victory.
Yeah. The last question for you on that game one. How do you handle your emotions? Because I think it's been fairly chronicled how animated you are as a coach. Some questionable calls from refs for sure. How do you try to handle your emotions and balance, obviously getting at the refs and doing what you can on that front, but making sure your guys are ready and prepared?
I don't. I don't handle my emotions very good, and that's I'm still working on that. But what I can do fairly quickly is turn the page.
Yeah.
So I do have my moments of coaching these guys extremely hard and losing focus of the game. I have my moments of on the referees really, really hard and losing focus on the game. But I can snap back pretty quickly. I also have a player on the team. I'm not going to say his name, but I'll point to him, who would just yell across the court, "Doug, this ain't the time." And that kind of gets me back.
Okay.
Focus as well.
Amari.
How many times have you
sorry.
said that this year?
Too many.
I've seen that interaction a few times for sure. Amari, I have to ask about it. Game 1, there's a moment between you and Eli. He gets in your face a little bit, and you both get ejected. What happened there? Do you want to talk about it at all?
No comment.
Nothing. Okay. Cole, from your perspective, as somebody watching all of this go down, I mean, the game was tense from the jump. And obviously there's a few moments, there's ejections before that. Just talk to me about that moment that you saw from your perspective and what happened.
No comment.
Big bro has spoken. Doug, do you want to talk about it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool.
It may be one of those times where I lost focus of the game. I was on the referees or coaching the guys.
You weren't paying attention?
I wasn't.
Okay.
I've heard there's a social media buzz on stuff, but I haven't really time then.
All right, we won't talk about it.
Okay.
We won't talk about it. I will ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, some ejections happen
Mm-hmm.
for whatever. You're playing this game, and I hate to do the hypothetical thing, but do you think you win that game if you have your full roster?
We lost.
That's it?
We lost the game, so
Okay.
that's what it is.
Reapers is locked in, y'all. That's all I got to say. Kole, for you, I know he's touched on what it was like playing without those guys. Just tell me, like, what from your perspective it was like. Like he said, was there freedom in that, hey, there's just 5 of us out here hooping. We don't even have a sub, so just go get after it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little more freedom than we should have had. There's 5 of us, and there were no subs, so it's like, what are you gonna do? Sub me out? And he was wild. Yeah, but we didn't pull it out, but it was a learning moment, and us 5 have never been on the court together, I don't believe, ever, at any moment. But I think we did learn something at that moment, and we're just going to take it and run with it.
Okay. Switching gears to game 2. Amari, I want to start with you. Obviously, we won't talk about what happened in game 1, but game 2 comes, you're probably ready to just get after it, right? I'm imagining you're like pent up anger, aggression, all of the emotions. You come out and you start firing. Like, I think you hit more threes than you've ever hit in a game at OTE. Talk to me about what your mindset was going into that game and the emotions around that.
The mindset was, in this moment, we have to win no matter what. You do not want to be down 0-2.
Yeah.
Because being down 0-2, it's ugly.
Right.
So, yeah, my mindset was just go get a win and win.
Right.
That's it.
As a coach, do you say anything to him going into a game 2 like that, or is it just let him be him?
Yeah, I mean, if I have to talk to Amari and get him fired up or get him focused on the game,
Something is wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong with Amari.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? So no, I don't. He and I, you know what? Actually, he and I had a conversation. He called me Saturday morning and asked me, "How you feel?"
Right.
I was like, "I feel good. How you feel?" He said, "I feel like we gotta get a victory. I feel like we're getting a victory today." We talked about some other non-basketball stuff, and then hung up the phone. And next time I saw him, he was, smiling at the end of the game, and
Right.
we tied 1-1. So
Okay. Now, we're only 2 games through this series, so still much more to come. But I want to get you guys' comparison of last year's finals. And sorry, Kole, you're not a part of this conversation, but maybe next year. But like last year's finals compared to this year's, 1, emotionally, 2, physically, like just all of the difference. Because the Dreamers are a way different team than that RWE team was. So like, what is the major differences and what's it like?
I feel like the differences from last year. Last year, RW was a drive-heavy team, so that scouting report's out the door.
Right.
We got a whole new scouting report, whole new game plan. It's like you just got to adjust the stuff mid-game. And, I mean, I feel like game 1 of last year was a tough one, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been there before.
yeah, I mean, game 1 last year, BT got ejected.
Oh, I do remember that.
So
Yeah.
we lost that game, came back, won game 2. Not gonna talk about how the next 3 games played out, but it was it's similar, but so much different. Like as he says, different opponent, different scouting report, different team, and we were more of a job BT playoff those guys.
Yeah.
This year we're more of a Malik, Amari, Cole and Tuck playoff those guys. Cole, Kirak, and Moo do what they do around, and then Styles and Jay Wilk kind of have their roles. So I think we're more of what the puzzle looks like now. Last year we were just like, we're gonna miss jump shots. We're gonna throw the ball up against the backboard. John BT gonna get the rebound, and we're gonna score. If Chakai and Amari and Parker can make threes, that's a bonus. Last year, but we were, paint touches and putting the ball on the backboard more so last year.
Now, in game 2, Eli and Isaac combined for 72, right? And the rest of the team has 7 points. Is that the game plan? Like, I wouldn't say just let those guys do what they do, but we're going to stop the other guys, so to speak, just in air quotes, from getting loose, and we'll live with those 2. Okay. Understood. Cole, we're only 2 games into the series so far. But if the series were to end next game, and I guess you're not taking into account that game, so you're really just looking at these 2 games, who's the MVP for you guys? I'm assuming you guys win.
I got Malik.
Malik?
He's been showing himself, leading us to these wins, and I think he deserves it after we win this chip.
Yeah, a lot more basketball to play, though, for sure. Malik, would you – or not Malik, my bad, bro. Amari, would you agree Malik's your MVP for the 2 games?
Yes.
Yeah? Is it mainly the scoring, or is there other things involved with that?
I mean, he's on the glass.
Yeah.
He's defending. He's doing everything he's supposed to. That's what a Finals MVP look like.
Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I think, if it ended right now or if it played out the way it's playing, I think Malik would be Finals MVP.
Okay. Now, for game 3, right, there's like this awkward break. You get what? You guys played Saturday. You don't play again until Thursday. Mm-hmm. How do you handle emotions as a coach? Like, do you guys kind of hit a lull and then try to ramp back up? Or are you guys staying at 100 throughout this week of practice? Like, what are you trying to do as a coach to get these guys ready for a game with that much time off? Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming you guys got the same answer. Cool. Let me ask you this. Is there any nerves? Like, as you kind of have a few days off, do you think you'll be nervous on Thursday? Or is there always nerves for a finals game?
We've played 2 already, so I think the nerves happened at game 1.
Yeah.
Now it's strictly basketball now, so we just go out and play. As I think I said this before, once they throw the ball in the air, it's a basketball game.
Right.
There may be some pumping circumstances before the game that create some nervousness, but once the referee blows the whistle and they throw the ball up, I think nervousness goes out the window.
Yeah. Anything from you guys? Any nerves? No? Just basketball.
Just basketball.
Basketball.
If y'all can't tell, this team is locked in. This team is definitely locked in. I want to ask you guys, obviously a few more games to go, hoping to close it out on Friday if you can win 2 games in a row. You've gotten contributions from everybody. A lot of people have stepped up. Is there a certain player that you're going to be like honing in on in the next few games? It's like we need this person to be there for us to close this thing out.
Man, everybody.
Yeah, all 8 guys.
All 8.
Everybody knows their role. Everybody understands when they get in the game what they're supposed to do. And it's all 8 guys. If somebody at this point, if somebody thinks that they have to be the hero, then we gonna it won't be successful for us.
Yeah. And on a personal standpoint, like I guess mindset wise, but also just as you guys approach the game, what do you think your role is in helping this team secure wins, right? I guess you guys both bring a lot of different things to the table, but some similar things. What for each of you personally do you bring to the table that's going to help you guys win championship?
Make sure we play defense. That's my job. As long as I make sure we guard, I will lead construct and Tuck construct the offense.
Yeah.
Just play basketball really well.
Word.
Talk to me about Tuck. This is kind of one of the last things I want to get into because he's been, I think, an X factor for you guys in this series. Game 1, he gets ejected, and obviously, offense struggles, but
I was playing really well too.
way more to that than just Tuck, to be fair. Game 2 plays really well as well. What has he meant to you guys this series?
I mean, Tuck's the table setter for us, and when he's setting the table and figuring out his spots to get for him to eat, I think it's really makes us, a little more dangerous offensively. Tuck's a really good defender as well, and he's the point of attack. And when he's locked in, it makes us a tougher defending team. I'm super pleased with the way he's been playing. You see 10 seconds of something that happened in that game, and unfortunately, a lot of people want to define him by those 10 seconds. But if you look at all his minutes on the court and what he has contributed to this team, game 1 he was 15 points and I think 5 assists at the point of his ejection. And then game 2 at the beginning, it was heavy on him.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the way he played. I think he had 3, maybe 4 turnovers in the first half, maybe 3 in a row at one point. And then for him to end up with, 11 points, 13 points, 8 assists, and a handful of rebounds. Kind of shows what what he means to this team, and I have no doubt that Tuck's going to continue to play at a very high level. Whether it's one more game, 2 more games, or 3 more games.
Doug, I mean, game 1 was heavy. Game 2's a win. What did you learn going from game 1 to game 2 in terms of coaching your team and getting these guys ready to go play?
I think the biggest thing for us in that situation, and I'll let these guys kind of answer their way, but every possession matters. I think in our film session on Saturday after the Friday night game, we showed maybe 6, 7 clips where we legitimately left points on the board.
Yeah.
A couple of missed layups, a couple bad shots early in the shot clock, knowing that taking a 3-pointer with 20 on the shot clock as opposed to trying to work for a better shot makes
Was that him?
He was one of them. He was one of them. But just owning and taking every possession as if it's we've talked before that jump ball, that first possession of the game, if you don't, and we didn't execute the first possession of the game defensively of what we were supposed to do, and it led to a basket. If we execute that better and we get a stop, what's the result of the game then? So, but I'll let those guys kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't really have a game 1, so I guess you're kind of out of that conversation. You were just changing your mindset for game 2 and going in ready for that. But Kole, obviously, like we talked about, game 1 was a way different game for you than game 2. Talk to me about the differences there and getting ready for both.
Yeah, coming into our first game, people thinking we're the underdogs, saying, Dreamerz got this. And after falling short in the first game, it just made us realize, like, it done got real. So that next game was a must-win, like he said earlier, and we got to come into this same mentality for our next game. This is a must-win to go up 2-1.
For sure. Kole, I want to end it with this. These guys have gotten to talk about what it would mean to them to win an OTE Finals. For them, it's going back-to-back. For you, it would be your first one, and hopefully you guys can get it done. Just tell me what it would mean to you personally, for you just as establishing yourself in this league, obviously hopefully coming back next year and trying to repeat. Just what would it be like to win this OTE championship?
It would be big. We just had to talk about this. It would be my first real championship that I win. And yes, it would solidify me in, my high school career, winning an OTE championship, and yeah, it'll be big.
All right, well, I ain't going to hold you guys any longer. Y'all are clearly locked in. Y'all go get some work done, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been another episode of Unfiltered. If you can't tell, the Reapers are locked in, and it all picks back up Thursday at 7 for Game 3 of the OTE Finals. I'll be tuning in. I hope you do too.
Hey, thanks for watching the full video, fam. You a real one for that. For more videos from the best league out there, check out these videos here. And also, hit that subscribe button to never miss a video. We want to see who's really locked in to OTE.